KXVS LP Stockton.
This broadcast will start in 60 seconds. This broadcast will start in 45 seconds. This broadcast will start in 30 seconds. This broadcast will start in 15 seconds. This broadcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS The Voice of Stockton or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
All right, welcome everyone on a Sunday afternoon. Happy Sunday, and God bless you, or happy Sunday. I don't know, I don't want to offend anybody, but thanks for watching the Vigil show. I have a great guest here. I would like to, introduce yourself and tell me, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, my name is David Ng, and what I do is I share my experience with the youth out there.
Okay, and next person, I'm better half.
Sabrina Flores, and I have a lot of experience working with low-income families and children in general, and doing things in the community, getting involved in the community.
The one thing about these two are a wonderful couple because they keep everything positive. When they think negative, they change. They say, you know what? It's the best thing to happen, but everything will go down, have to go up. And I do believe that. I do believe in positive reinforcement in every community because, like I told Dave before at the beginning of the show, that bad news travels fast than good news. So now we have something that they want to offer to the community that want to be educated by people, our youth that have been incarcerated, and try to prevent them from lead to that path. So Dave, can you tell me what's been happening?
Well, I've been free now 2 years, 3 months, and what it is I do is I go and share my experience. I talk with youth and feed them the information. Incarceration prevention, right, which is very important, right? There's a lot of youth out there are being misled, and they're headed down the wrong road, and they have bad influences in their life. So what I do is I speak to lifers as well, and I speak to just people in general, because it's the information, and what you do with the information is up to you.
Okay, so you're more like a social worker, right? But you're more like a community advocator, or what?
Yeah, community advocator, life coach, mentor, because, what I do has many titles up under one umbrella.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, however you can use, or however I can be used, to share the information and prevent someone from going down that wrong path and do 20, 30 years in prison,
That's a lot of waste of their life, 30, 40 years. You never get it back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So right. You can't get it back, that 30, 40 years from when children, they're young, they're very impressionable, but they have friends that... Peer pressure is a very hard thing for a teenager.
Right.
That I've been through a lot too, and I'm sure you felt peer pressure when you were a teenager. Want to be popular, want to be noted, want to be, trying to prove something to be like. Right. And that's a really, it never changed. It's an evolving thing that we go through a lot.
Exactly.
It's peer pressure is a very strong thing, even in adulthood too.
Yeah, peer pressure easily comes by low self-esteem. Mm-hmm. When we don't have that we have that lack of confidence within ourselves. But that comes within home upbringing. You know what I mean? Always being told you ain't gonna amount to nothing. You're always gonna go to jail. You're never worth nothing. You're nothing, no good. You know what I mean?
So another way it have to do with the. Do you think that it have to do with the family that involved that molding the child the way they're gonna lead them to the wrong path?
Yeah, your greatest example is your mother and father. You know what I mean? So anytime a child sees a mother's, saying, they could be confused. They could be misled. The mother says, okay, I do this responsible, I do that responsible, but I got bad habits, such as I use drugs, or I never come home on time, or I don't provide food for the family. You know what I mean? Right. So a child sees this and takes this, and now he's confused, right?
Or it could be, a child could be saying, oh, that's probably normal for them.
Yeah.
They're probably either normal or confused. They're either way two-step. Because a child will always set an example by their parent when they're young. Because when they grow up, they're going to say, they're going to watch the father and the mother, and they see what they're having, and good thing. Because when they had a test, when they're carrying a baby, and they had a mother sitting right there, and then they were scaring her, and the mother was smiling. The baby was looking at the mother's face and see that she's not afraid, she's not in fear, so she didn't cry.
Right.
So the baby would always look at somebody that she trusts, that feel that energy from the mother, that everything's okay. But if you see something that is something that's scaring, and the mother frown, the baby's gonna start crying because it take after the parents. You know what I mean? So it's
following suit.
It fall into that category. So.
Yeah, Doug too. Also, from being an early child educator, we do believe that the first teachers are the parents.
Yeah.
And also too, speaking on Dave, a lot of times the people that we do help are close friends that we grew up with, or we know their children, what they're going through, so we reach out. You know, if we have friends that come in and out of prison or rehab, me and David are down to earth people, especially when it comes to issues like that. We know where we came from. We're not ashamed of it. But like for me, I got educated so I can help. I can help better the community that I came from and the people that I grew up with.
So you're like a guy that said an example like this. If I came from where I am,
you could do it too. But I don't say that approach.
No. Okay.
But everybody, school's not for everybody. Education's not for everybody.
And you're not gonna save everybody.
You're not gonna save everybody.
Right.
But because
so that's a realistic expectation that we hold on to.
And because I came from my father is very, very raised on welfare. He always told us, hey, the way to get out of poverty is get education, especially being women. Mm-hmm. He had all daughters, so basically, hey, you can't depend on no man or nobody. Just, get educated, and then those people that that want to better themselves, open the door, for them.
But a lot of people say, they have to help themselves, but, let them hit rock bottom. But sometimes people who hit rock bottom eventually die.
Yeah.
But always something have to, okay, when is a good time when people have already hit rock bottom, and yet that he's gonna go down to the grave, not going up. What the fine limit of that, going to the wrong path in learning the tough of life?
You know what the trail of life. Yeah, I know that life. I've seen it. I've seen it growing up. I've been around addiction, incarceration all my life. I had uncles that were in San Quentin, Chino, and so I'm familiar with that life.
Okay.
Me and David, we still associate with people that are trying to get out of it. A lot of times it takes faith.
That's right.
Spiritual faith.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Spiritual faith
and trust.
Yeah, and trust. These people are rough. Who are you to tell me?
Right.
But the one thing I'm going to tell you is that I do believe I grew up at the youth minister. I did campus ministry for a long time, and trust is a very fragile. You can lose your trust anytime.
That's right.
But the thing that you could still regain that trust again, and giving people chances.
Right.
But you have to be honest. You have to be trustworthy. You have to have character. You have to be a man of your word. I'm old school. If I'm going to say I'm going to do it, and I say I'll give you $5, and I'll give you $5, and you don't fit that. I just give it to you right away.
Right.
I get my word is my contract.
That's right.
A lot of people don't do that.
No,
that's
morals
old
and
school.
ethics.
Old school is very
Old school.
important, right? And it's like like you said, right? It's consistency in your conduct and your character, because people are looking at you even up close or even farther away, right? Okay, well, if you say you're going to say something, I have no doubt here. I'll loan you whatever it is that you need, right?
Right.
And so, we look at, like, for instance, when I get stuck in my recovery, right, or stuck, period, and I'll go to Sabrina, right? Sabrina, she's looked at as the resource lady of Stockton, right? Because she has all the resources,
But
right?
also
information.
But also you're
Right.
a couple, and you when you're going
I
down.
didn't make that name for me.
I'm sorry. But I'm talking about the resource because
Yeah.
as a couple, you need, like a lot of people depend on each other for
We
help.
do.
You know
We
what I mean?
do.
Like if you want, the Bible said, if you see your brother fall, help him up.
That's right.
And guide him. So it's the same way with things that if you're going through path and you're going through path, she's going to encourage, she's going to give you spiritual guidance, she's going to give you emotional support, she's going to give you mental support, physical support. I mean, all that thing that you need to have as a human being. A lot of people that go to the wrong path it's trying to fill a void.
Right.
And when they fill that void, they're too late. It's like, oh, that's not what I thought it was.
Right.
That negative voice that they're getting, they either want to feel loved, they want to feel that feeling of connection, they want to feel like they think that they're not fit into society.
Right.
So those are the things. I look at that people that modify behavior.
Right.
So when you come to behavior, I understand even people with disability have low self-esteem.
Right.
And then just the other day, when Sabrina and you we had our meeting, we're talking about people talk about what their parent got into, their path.
Right.
It kind of relate and trail onto their own life.
That's right.
It doesn't. If you get it, get over it.
That's
You
right.
know?
Yeah.
Right. You have to get over it. You can't let it define who you are today.
Yes.
You can't place
Yes.
blame. You can't minimize. You can't, you know what I mean, live in denial, right?
The Bible says, that you're not responsible of the father's sin, and you can't grant and pass it out to the generation. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's right.
And then also too, you got to remember too, you guys, resources. When I was younger, I was a young mother. Well, not too young, but 23. I had my first daughter, and me and a group of women. I don't want to say names because they might get mad at me. We always kept in touch.
Okay, well,
hey,
good.
you could get this, for the kids. The sheriff's department's doing this, and at the time too, her dad was in prison, and he would send me stuff from for Christmas stuff, and so I would work net with a lot of women that were on the same same situations I was, but we wanted to better ourselves. You know what I mean? So we knew, let's go to school. Let's go to school. So I was an example, and another girl was an example that we got to in this program, and became. It was a program. No, it don't exist no more. Unfortunately, Clinton started this program with a whole bunch of low-income women, and that's how it started. I lived by resources, all these programs and stuff. And resources like that were supposed to just uplift you.
Right.
To get you, the support system. So, and then when I got hired at this nonprofit agency, I learned more, how to do case management, how to work with families. So even though I work in a different field of work, still with children, but I always took that low-income families and the family unit, and with reentry and addiction, as an advocate to help others.
Right.
So I use my skills to help others on the side of what I do.
Okay.
But I've had friends that had situations that they made wrong decisions in life and they needed help. Hey, Sabrina, I want to get my GED. I'm almost 50 and I can. There's this opening for a supervisor, but I need my GED. So a lot of times these certain individuals, they don't know where to go. I mean, yeah, Delta
Right.
College. So it's basically, hey, I'll get the information, I'll educate them, like if they're one of my parents, a case management, educate them, but they have to do the work.
You know what? I would just to hold on. Something probably now we're gonna go to you. Okay.
Yeah.
I just think something it's very important. I know that when I go to a Stockton USD meeting and then you can go down, they approve expulsion, suspension, and all that stuff. Those are the kids. Have there any program from them from getting any? That they're gonna be expelled. Do they have any social work that will prevent them from just trying to make guys go back to school? Because when you're expelled from school, you're not going. Whether school can they go? What other education can they go to get their degree?
Well, in Stockton Unified, there is those schools that they have, like Stockton High, Vigil,
Like a
continuation, and I see that the higher ups are trying to work with those students. In other words, you're failing right now, but we'll give you opportunity. Because before I did go to continuation for a minute,
Okay.
you could put yourself in, but now it's basically like a recommendation or referral.
Okay.
That's what I see.
Okay.
Things have changed. I could
Good,
be wrong.
good, okay.
And you have the opportunity to go get your credits and catch up. But if you don't take that opportunity or you do not do what you're supposed to be doing, you might not graduate. So it's kind of like, don't quote me, I could be wrong. They're giving you a chance to come back to your home school, but go do the work, but come back and graduate with your class.
Okay.
There is one schools, there's one schools, not, even for young people, sometimes they cannot be in a school with more than 24 in a classroom. They need smaller groups.
Right.
Everybody has a different learning style. I learned that, I'm not saying liberal studies are I'm not saying I'm not in competition with
Right,
them,
I
but
understand.
early childhood, it's a development.
Right.
It's awesome. Even being with somebody that's re-entering, he's been out 2 years. So he's actually 2 years old. He's a toddler.
Wow.
He's in
Still developing your brain.
infant schooling.
Right.
And until he'll hit preschool.
What I meant for that,
Hold
because
me like an
I
infant.
think something like that,
Yeah.
like discontinued, but because they still go to the wrong path, they still getting something that
That's
is
right.
blocking him
Yeah.
or her from learning.
Lack of
So-
interest,
Yeah.
a disability that they don't know about.
Self-motivation.
But I'm saying that, like you said, just to evaluate what is the family dynamic, like you just said, it could be the family dynamic. Oh, you're stupid. I hear people say that to their own
Right.
kids.
Yeah.
You're stupid. I don't know why you act this way.
Yeah.
They're stupid, and they believe that word in their mind. They act that, and only
Right.
they live on that.
Positive factors.
Well, personally,
Yeah.
me, I'm a career student. My brother laughs at me. He says, "Man, you've been going to school, and you should have your doctor." No, I love
Education,
learning.
knowledge.
But my older daughter was totally different.
Okay.
She was like, "No, Mom, that don't interest me." And I had to learn that, and that's not for everybody.
Right.
And they seen me going to school.
Okay.
They see me. I have 3 daughters, and I could say my baby, she's the one that follows me. My second one, she's like, that's not for me, and I have to accept it. But I thought because I lived a positive lifestyle where there's no drinking in my house, smoking, to go to school, we're a support system. We all help each other here.
Right.
We're a family unit.
Contribute.
And it sometimes you can be. It depends on the individual.
Of course, when you have a child, they have their own personality.
Yes, they do.
So
That's
they're not gonna.
And you have to adapt to that.
Yeah. So what I was trying to get at that people that have get expulsion, they approve it and things like that, and they go have an option to go to this continuing school and or higher and go to adult school, whatever. There are other programs outside Stockton Unified District have kind of checked them out and see, have Dave step in and say, oh, dude, is there anything that's bothering you? Is there anybody that's harassing you? Is there anybody trying to push you? Something that is
Bully.
not leading to the path of thing. That's like an early
Prevention,
that's of prevention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I gave her a lot to think about.
Yeah.
No,
you
yeah.
know what, though? I also wanted to add, Doug,
Okay,
that
what?
she's also involved in the Latin community, right?
Okay.
And
Oh, yeah.
Also as far as the Indian community too, right? The
Native American.
right?
I've always had. When I worked for this nonprofit, I always took a a love for the Spanish-speaking families.
Do you speak Spanish?
You know what? I learned.
Oh, you did?
I learned, and
sure
the ones
did.
that I see me now, like we were at the ice
Mm-hmm.
cream shop. This Mexican ice cream shop on Country Club, and there was a parent there. I started talking to her in Spanish, and they knew I didn't know. So I share my little stories, like with kids. Listen, do you know, Miss Sabrina or Teacher Sabrina didn't know. I learned you could do it too. So there's a lot of things, I mean, I was fortunate. I came from somewhere where they pushed education and bettering yourself.
Right.
And don't be a statistic, and learn how to get along with different groups.
That's another thing about people who talk about statistics.
Yeah.
Statistics can be wrong, too.
Yeah, that's true.
And sometimes statistics can lead you that mentality that okay, I wanted a statistic because I mean, like they always, they go by percent. It's all by number, and to me that it depends how you live.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean?
Yeah.
So as far as Dave goes, getting out of incarceration, out of prison. So what motivates you to want to do right for the community, for our youth? What motivates you to want to do this?
Well, what motivated me is when I first got convicted, right? The first day I went into prison, right? And I knew that I was never, ever going to get out, right? Because there was no hope for lifers, ever to get a date, ever see the light of day. So I made a promise and I said, well, I did this to myself. I'm not bitter. I mean, I did have the bitter attitude, right? But once I started self-discovery, looking at, what made me do this, what made me do that, why am I acting out, why am I, not taking responsibility for my actions, I misguided my sister. I got her a life sentence. I misguided my friend who gave him a life sentence, right? Orchestrated this whole crime. And now everybody's sitting in jail. Now I've made victims of the society. I caused fear. I made victims of the victim. I took his life, right? His family, created victims there, and within my own family. So I told myself, if I was ever afforded the opportunity, I would come out and make a difference, man. Make a difference, because I was so selfish. I only cared about myself. I didn't care about nothing. I had no empathy.
Just letting you know, man, I can't. Just letting you know,
Right.
from another man's point of view,
Right.
we tend to be selfish.
Right.
Because we're always thinking of ourselves,
That's right.
me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
But yet, but as far as when you talk about when you were in jail and you have a lot to think about, do you ever said, how did I get this far enough to be where I'm at? Was it somebody that got you thinking that it caused you to do the crime, and did it start you thinking? Did you have a reaction, a play? And when you have a kid, and you tell your kid, your mentor, like, look, this is the thought I was growing, this is what I was plotting, this and that, and you go out there, do you tell that student that no, this is not that's not going to go right?
Yeah. Well, let me say this, because it's
Well, I'm saying you
no,
missed this.
yeah,
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
yeah. First of all, I was incarcerated for taking a man's life, and his name was Vance Outlaw. He was a pimp, and he raped and beat my twin sister. Now, when I was in prison, I was always being rewarded with, hey, man, what you did for your sister was a good thing, man. I would have did that same thing too, man. But when I would lay down at night, I would think, that wasn't right, man. I violated another human being because he had rights. Everything in life has rights. So why did I do that, man? Because I was selfish. I only cared about, and I had a negative attitude, man. You know what I mean? It's all about, forget what you're going through. It's all about me, right? Now I had choices, man. We all have choices,
Right.
And ego played a part in this, right?
Okay.
I didn't want to look stupid. I didn't want to have less than, right? I always wanted to.
But then again, too, that's street justice. You got to remember, when you're on the streets, it's a different law.
Of course,
Because
of course,
because of the
Yeah.
lifestyle that I was living, of course, I've created my laws every day that went by. You know what I mean? I didn't live by the laws of society. You know what I mean? I had to fend for myself. I chose to sell drugs because it was an easy income.
Yes.
And I fell in love with money, right? Of course, we all know what the Bible says about money, root of all evil, right?
Yeah, it depends how you use it.
Exactly. So I started digging deep, man, looking deep within myself, right? You know, reflection, you know, honesty, not living in denial, not minimizing, not placing blame, right? This is all aspects of responsibility. What caused me, understanding coping skills, understanding triggers, what made me do that, how I was affected, you know, people, you know, healthy associations and relationships. I constantly speak on that, right? Because
So that's good because you know
Right.
what? Because that's another thing about trigger. How when you teach your people peer pressure, when you not peer pressure, mentoring those kids,
right.
do you tell that what is the trigger
Yeah.
that they might go back again?
But you know what I say is that before I went to prison, I let my friends pick me. You understand? Because I felt like I had no power, right? I had no self-esteem. I had nothing, right? No role models, right? Nothing going for my life. So, you know, there was a weakness in my life, right? And now with all the education that I have now, I have the power to pick who is my friend.
Right.
You understand? Because it's a protection that I have to put on upon myself.
Right. It's more like empowerment.
Right. Protect my freedom, protect my religion, protect my belief, protect my safety, right? So I won't go back to prison. So I won't make another victim or create another victim. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's about giving back. What could I do for you? How can I help you grow, pick you up, lift you up, point you to a right direction, right? How can I prevent you to do what I've done, right? And put your family through the pain and hurt like I did. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now it's about sharing and it's about giving back. This is how we give back.
So let me tell. Okay, now, so since you're out, are you planning going back to school? Are you going back to? Are you trying to refine? Are you trying to refine yourself more as a role model for a youth again? How are you gonna refine yourself when you're gonna be a mentor and life coach and all that stuff? And then they're different, and you have, and yeah, in your personal life, you might have some struggle in your trigger. Are you gonna separate, or are you gonna combine them together and show by your example to your youth, for the people that you mentor?
It's a little of both, right? I have to constantly remind myself because I do myself have triggers. Now that I'm free, right? It doesn't say that I'm free from all the things the personal struggles. Right? Because I'm human, right? And we all go through this, right? Now, you know, it's a constant reminder of all that time I did that prevents me from not acting out, not taking things personal, right? Because there was a time in my life to where I took things and I held on to it, right? And I wouldn't let it go for nothing in the world, man.
Right.
You can't live like that.
Right?
Yeah,
And
and
it was about revenge and so on and so forth, right? Ain't nobody. It's
resentment.
about that ego. You have to understand that ego.
Okay, so
Right,
so in other words, you can identify the ego from the
Right.
from the people, the youth.
Yeah.
Or any so tell me, what age level between you try to mentor the youth? What age group?
You know, education is for everyone, right?
Right.
And it's up to the individual, anywhere between 13 to 25, even older than that. Because, you know, there's people now, lifers, going back
That's
to
true.
prisons.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, you don't spend 36 years and 32 years in prison. Now you come out, right? Now, everything you have learned. Now, did you learn something in prison? Because I have, right? Because I don't want to, right? Make that same mistake. I want to pass this information that's going to prevent you from going, right? So what is it that you're doing that it's coping skills, right? All these things that I've created, right? As a Bible, as a protection, right? For someone else's life as well as my own. You know what I mean? Because it's for me too.
So in other words, okay, now, I do believe, people when they, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, okay?
Yeah, please do.
Because people that go in the bad side and I say, you know what, Christian this, give the Bible.
Okay.
They're gonna be preaching
Right.
to me, Bible this, Bible that, and you know what? It's not gonna change who I am.
Right.
The way I believe in God. So what?
That's
so what's
right.
gonna affect me? That's gonna do more harm.
Okay.
So how would you change my attitude? Say, I don't believe in God. We die. I don't care. What's he gonna do?
Okay, but then I would take that individual and I would already identify that there's pain, there's denial, right? There's shame, right? That's cool. Now, I'm not going to press my beliefs upon you. I'm not, right? But we all know there's a higher power. However you want to describe him is up to you, right? Because
that's true.
every man, every woman living in this world today base their beliefs on something or someone. That defines who they are, right?
Right.
This little attitude that you have, where did you pick that up at?
Right.
From a friend? Because your mother didn't teach you this, right? So it's that negativity that we have to remove from our life in order for us to
Gotcha.
grow.
That's a good point. You did a good.
You see?
Yeah, that's a good point because that's something that negative is a negative factor in
Yeah.
our youth because they're always constantly being they're afraid.
Right.
They're afraid of their own life. They don't constantly fear with police officers.
Right.
The media exploit them.
And I still go through that with police officers
Yeah.
today. I see them, I get a fear of and I have to you're living right. It's all about honesty. What is it that
It's
Right.
kind of funny because I get that feeling too. Oh
Yeah.
my God, am I driving? I'm driving speed limit. Okay,
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's
Yeah.
like I get that too when the police come by and I say, did I
Yeah.
pass? Did I stop?
right.
So
Did I do something wrong? Right.
It's common. So
It's common. It's a natural thing. Even I tell Sabrina, right? I tell my wife all the time. I see a cop. I was like, "Do you got your seatbelt on?" Yeah, I got it on. And I'm checking. I'm making sure everything's good because I use my blinker. And when it says stop,
And I'm law-abiding.
I stop. I don't
make
care
rules.
if it's like 2 in the morning. I stop, right? Because I don't care if I'm the only person on the road, right? Because it's that that fear.
The fear
of
that you
breaking
might
the law.
come back and they're gonna have some reason to put you in jail, may kind of trigger you
Exactly.
and get you mad and
Right.
run up and
Yeah,
kill you,
yeah.
Right.
David has told friends, I mean, like I said, we're down to earth. We don't judge nobody. We're strong-minded.
Right.
Nobody's going to influence us on anything.
manipulate you.
Yeah.
Like that.
We haven't forgotten where we came from,
Right.
Just like Sabrina said earlier, we don't think that we're better than
Oh, no.
than nobody. It's just that we're better than what we used to be.
Yeah.
Right, I totally
You know what I
agree
mean?
because
Yeah.
I think it's definitely that the role model that we need in Stockton are people are like there's a lot of shooting. There's a family getting killed.
Right.
I feel like Stockton is like a jungle.
Right.
You like a safari. They
Exactly.
shoot and they go to the house and then whatever random shoot someone's baby got
They're very
killed
angry.
there.
Right.
Like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's kind of a scary moment, but when they end up in jail, do you go there and see them and say, "Hey, what's up? What's happening?" Or you just wait until they get out of incarceration, or either way? How do you prevent something that you don't know that's going to happen to this particular individual?
Well,
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, education starts now, right?
Okay.
And you can't be everywhere at the same time. You just can't, right? It's just like, like talking with you today. The experience I had with you had an impact on my life. Now, it has such a great impact in my life that I want to share it with somebody. You know what I mean? I'm going to pass this information on, man, right? Doug has a great show at KXVS, right? And this is what he does. He contributes he passes on information, right? He has a dog, and, everybody gets along over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shake your hand, meet a friend kind of thing, right? So this is the kind of thing you want to share with someone else, and they take that and share it with someone else.
Right.
And before you know what I mean? It's just like positive begets positive, negative
Right.
begets negative, right? Now, someone that's doing wrong, I don't judge them, man. I don't.
Like
You
I
know
was
what
going to
mean?
say,
I
we
don't-
had a friend that tried to get in the car with him that was drinking and had a beer can there. He goes, no, you ain't getting in my car with
right. And we
open
talk about
container.
clean and sober, right?
Right.
That's fine. That's cool, right? So you're sober, but are you clean? Do you got a knife on you, right? Do you got hidden weed? You know what I mean? Are
And
you
there's
clean
that's
like
another
that? Right, yeah.
there's another thing that's really, really I have noticed. I have friends that a mother that their son's been in the gang
Right.
and they're loyal to everything, and then he had a baby. You know, he got a baby from it and everything. You know, he would take it to. I'm going to meet a friend out, and this friend came out, and he planted a knife, a gun in his car.
Right.
And they both end up in jail.
That's right.
But the mentality of why did the friend set him up?
That's right.
To go to get with him.
Right.
To me, that's not
loyalty.
Friend.
That's not a good
loyal,
friend.
But it's kind of not disloyal. What it's called
Setting them up.
Setting them up. Yeah,
Right.
setting them up
Okay.
in a way that what would his accomplish? What was he going to get a benefit out of that?
Right.
Of that.
And that's why I talk about healthy associations and relationships, right?
Okay, healthy
This is who we invite in our lives, man. You understand? So let's say, for instance, you're a drug dealer, right? And I just came out of prison. I'm trying to do good. Here we socialize,
and
but
people
there's
know who I am.
and people know who you are, right?
And
Right.
you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
He's a user. You know
Yeah,
that.
and this is the power of choice, right?
Right, yeah.
There's something about your character, man, that's cool, man. You're a cool cat, man. I like you, man, and I want to embrace this, right, with you, right? But you're living foul, man. You're not doing the right things that you're supposed to be. But yet, I take you in as a friend, and this is called risky behavior.
Okay.
Right? So, because the longer I hang with you, Doug, right, and you're doing foul things, either I'm going to be like you or you're going to be like me. Do you understand?
Got it. Yeah.
Right?
But
So
It's another way. It's more like a association with people, right?
Exactly.
But
Before I
yeah.
even embrace you or invite you in my life, man, I got to make sure that you're okay, man, that you ain't selling drugs, that you ain't going out there harming people or breaking windows or, you know what I mean? You know. So once I see that you're on the same track as I am, this is what I do. I bring you in my life. Now, character sharpens character, right?
Sharpening an arrow.
That's right.
Sword
Iron
sharpens
sharpens
than a
iron,
sword, yeah.
right? Same thing as the Bible, right? So your character is going to sharpen me. You're going to help me lift. You're going to help me grow. You're going to help me prosper. You're going to help me get from point A to point B, man. You know what I mean? So,
Got it. Yep.
So, yeah.
But
this
in other
is-
words, that's a good. So that's the next thing. So that's who you associate with people.
Yeah.
You have to prevent that. But the
Right.
thing is, how do you find the early sign of that from the parent point of view? Like when you deal with youth, do they
Right.
come to you and say, "Hey, you know, my kid is acting up. What can we?" He won't talk to me. He won't say nothing to me.
Well-
what would you do?
You know, sometimes it's a trust.
Okay.
You understand? Let me give you a fine example of that.
Okay.
Growing up with my brother, right? Now he beat me senseless. This is his philosophy on teaching education, is beating your child, beating the education into your child, right? Now he was my mentor, he was my go-to guy, right? But he had a philosophy about himself, man, that was disturbing, man, right? Because everything was a beating, right? That was his answer, right?
More
So-
like we're putting
right.
fear into it
Right.
for authority.
Right. So, you know, and he always judged me, man. He always put me down, man. Right. Broke my confidence, man. Broke my self-esteem, man. Right. So I looked all for the needs of love out on them streets, man. Right.
And that's negativity.
And so when I got stuck in life, right, man, I love my brother, but I can't call him because I have no trust, because I know if I open up to him, man, he's going to beat me. Do you understand?
You mean
He's going to put me down.
No. What I'm saying is,
Right.
okay. I know there's a lot of families like that.
Yeah.
My family's the same way too. They're all dynamic.
Right.
But the thing is, when it comes to your brother, did he act like being righteous lifestyle of being beaten up is considering his way of living by his from his own mom or dad, between parents? It's beating up.
That's right.
Beating
That was-
up by your family, your
Right.
mom, your dad.
Exactly.
It's a common thing.
It's a common thing, right? So his mother did it, his grandmother did it, so on and so forth, so
so
on.
that's a perpetual cycle.
Right. So somebody has to break the chain.
Right.
And I break the chain.
Okay,
This
that-
is where it stops now.
Okay.
Right? The violence stops now. Okay, cool. So you have to listen to your child. You have to have an understanding. You have to make sacrifices. You have to
Right.
compromise. Right? You can't take things personal because things don't go your way. Right?
I have learned a lot about this
Right.
guy learned because this is what happened. Because people, I sometimes I get panic attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
My sister
Anxiety.
call and I'll call her and I say, I'm having. He's like, Doug, just chill. You know what? I mean, you just want attention.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? And that pissed me off.
It does.
It
And
did.
it's a put down.
It put me down.
That's
And I'm like,
right,
you know
man.
what? Excuse me. You think I want to call you and feeling this shitty? Feeling awful? Like
Right.
I'm ready. I feel like I'm gonna die or
Right.
something. You acting like you have no that because
Right.
you've been doing it the last 20 years.
Right.
But still not the point, you know.
That's
but
right.
yeah, so it's
So it's
just,
a trust that you called her on.
I
and
called her, but
looking
then
for-
she got me off
Right.
guard, and I got mad. I'm like, you know what? And I told my mom, like, you know
Right.
what? Yeah, you know, I thought she said she believed in family. Family is important.
Right.
That's what I've been raised. Family is
is.
important, but you know, there's certain families that I find out that you don't trust.
Right.
You know, because there's people that you trust and there's people
Right.
don't trust.
Right.
And I try to maintain the
Yeah.
family, but
Right.
maintain that there's, I will say one part, but I
That's
will say
right.
one
That's
part.
right.
And that's it.
Well, you know what, man? Even in our own
Boundaries.
family-
We need boundaries in
Right.
your own family too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even in our family members, we have envy, we have jealousy. You understand? So you know, it comes with the territory,
Human nature.
right? So what we do is, you know, there's no bad kid, man. Every kid wants to be loved.
Yeah.
Every kid is looking for an
Understood.
answer.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I say, hey, man, there's always a solution. Always. And violence is not even a solution. You
Not even
understand?
from your own family.
Exactly, right? So the thing is with that is that they're just looking for a way out, man. They're looking for acceptance. They're looking for trust. They're looking for love, right? And they're looking for you to give it to them, right? Now, if we can't provide a solution, we'll look for one together, man. We'll simplify this.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you have to take the initiative. Like, right, you know, somebody might say you may have a friend, right, and he slips in this bad idea, right? Let's go get some beer and we'll drink. No, man, it ain't cool. You know what I mean? Or let's go smoke some pot, or let's go dibble dabble in this and that. Right? Somebody has to take the initiative to control the relationship.
Right. Control,
Right.
like, who's going to be...
Either you're gonna be controlled-
What responsibility you're going to have
Right.
with certain...
Exactly.
And that's it. Yeah.
Right, and you have to remind them, man, I can't mess with you like that, man. I ain't messing with that. Why? Because I have 2 strikes, and if I get stopped, I'm going to life. Are you going to take care of me for the rest of my life? Are you going to be there for my family, man?
Yeah, right.
Huh?
Yeah,
Because you know you're not.
Yeah, you're not going to happen.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
and that's the
because
same thing with gang leaders,
Yeah,
right? Gang
that's
members
true.
as well.
Yeah, there's a belief system.
Exactly, and it's
And
called the
loyalty.
false belief system.
Yeah.
False loyalty. That's
Right.
what it is.
False belief
loyalty. But
I mean, there's good memories there, I'm sure, growing up and stuff. But when it's to where your own partners are controlling your life, and you have a relationship with somebody, you're telling them, hey, my lady did this to me and that to me, and then they all, want to sit there and believe, and then they kind of there's a lot of things that come with it that it's not cool.
I know when I grew up, I went to, I had a getaway partner. Hey, let's go to a getaway car.
I got
Come
along
on,
with
come on,
everybody.
let's get out of
Right.
Get out of and that's part of being a teenager.
Yeah.
People are trying to search their...
I don't care where you're from. If you had one eye or whatever, you want to party, have a good time. You're my
we're all
friend.
been through that. We all have been through that. But the thing is now, society are it's being very sensitivity now. They're very sensitive. Now
Yeah,
everything
sensitivity.
Everybody get offended easily.
Oh,
That's right.
wow.
Yeah,
People
because they
don't
take
respect
things personal.
authority.
That's right. They don't. Right.
So it's very common that how we got this far to not to. I could not believe it even on Facebook. It was ridiculous. I thought a kid, and the mother just kind of look at him like, wow, and I'm trying to talk to you, and she slapped her and again.
That's right.
And then the guy who was gonna, the one who took the picture, this guy was going and to get the guy for not hitting the woman, that was his mother.
Yeah.
The third lady came and blocked him. The
Intervened.
guy from intervening with that kid slapping
right.
the mother in
That's
the
right.
face. And she didn't. And you could tell that she was on drugs.
Right.
Because and that's the thing that, like you said about family dynamic, what I call it dynamic, meaning that it plays out what situation played out in the family role. It could be the mother influencing, the father influencing, it could be the brother influencing bad habits,
Right.
all those things.
That's right.
They're frustrated. You know,
Yeah.
and when they're frustrated, then they go to their peers.
That's
and
right.
their peers not getting, oh, why is this person so happy? I'm gonna get him in my side now.
Yeah.
What he's so
Right.
getting that love, and I'm in a bad situation. So it's either kind of like a tug of war,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
So so that's what I like. I have experience with those kids when they and it shows. Internet is so. It's no censorship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so much information on there, right? It's
And you could take
yeah.
it. You could take it in the wrong interpretation. They could stage it. And
Yeah.
They'll be like, father will spank a kid
Right.
for a correction, but
Right.
that dad is beating the kid,
That's right.
and they take it out of the concept.
That's right.
You don't know how the video
Yeah.
is what's intended to.
Exactly.
So it was and whoever put the video had an intention. It's going to mislead. It's going to have two
Yeah.
variations of story.
That's right.
So that's something that even the teenager needs to acknowledge, that not everything that is in the internet is truth.
Right.
Into it.
They're going to have to learn how to decipher.
Yes.
Right from wrong. Right. What's true and what's false.
Parenting is not easy
Right.
too,
No,
and
it
a
ain't.
lot
Of course, it don't come with a
a
book.
lot of times too,
Yeah, it
people,
don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
people just have
Yeah.
kids and don't know how to be parents. And those are the ones that's sad. I've never judged, you know.
Right.
You know, like for example, I was telling David one time, like me, there's a lot of things that I've done in my life I shouldn't have because I had a parent. I mean, and I have half sisters and brothers. I mean, their experience is totally different than mine. You know, there's a lot of people that I know that get into things that are not correct because something emotionally went wrong. I didn't have a mom, I didn't have a dad. And it's sad, yeah. And they build it instead of learning as adults. Say, hey, you know what? I'm here.
I'm alive,
My
yeah.
mom's story or my father's story, maybe they weren't around because of certain situations.
Right.
You know, so there's a lot of people that have pain and stuff that lead into negative behavior, you know. Like I know some friends, good people that, women that went to prison and stuff, and they did it. A lot of women go in for domestic violence, you know. And, I really don't share my story, but I'll do it today. I almost went to prison. I got tired of this guy. I got tired of him. So that program that I went to help me be an educator, I was like, you know what? When I was in there, and I got him, I was looking at 2 years, and I told myself, if I get out of this, I'm gonna do something with my life, and what I got to do, because some people, some guys were like, in that position will say, oh man, get that girl's always locking you up, You see that, you hear that in domestic violence.
Right.
Me, my thing was I was the victim. I'm getting rid of that raggedy dude because I'm gonna get locked up.
Right.
Because I got that taste.
Mm-hmm.
If doing
not
it,
freedom, huh?
Yeah.
no, not just that,
Just the violence.
Just the violence.
Inside
The active
prison.
I was Chucky.
outside.
Yeah,
okay.
I was Chucky.
She was in a violent relationship, right, with this certain individual. We won't say names, right?
No problem.
No.
Okay.
That enough is enough, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tired
Enough
of
There's
you.
a time
right,
when you did
right?
enough.
And you have a right. All humans have a right, man, to be respected.
But the
right?
cops
And to
at
be
that
honored,
time was different.
Right? So, and police didn't tend, they don't tend to people's, especially women, right? Or being victimized, right? They don't tend to their needs. They don't look at, they brush it under
It's
the
embarrassing,
carpet.
yeah.
What you know what? To be honest with you, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
When I was married to my wife, she's always she told me about she's been in her third marriage.
Okay.
I was her third marriage. She was married before, and she was always constantly telling me that she's been getting hit by somebody. Well, along comes to know her, got to know her better. She have a temper. I mean, a really bad temper.
Right.
And I never grew up going mad. I always respect my mom. I respect my high authority of archetype. My mom was the backbone of the family. Whatever my dad tell you, Mom, I'm okay, but you got to talk to your mom about that. I'm okay with that, but she's always talking about that. So anyway, I would go there, and I mean, I had to call the police on her like 10 times on the sheriff because she was constantly throwing things, plagues. She would throw dishes at me.
She was acting out.
She was acting out
Right.
violent, bro.
Right.
And she'll come up to me and she'll like kind of cut her, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to be responsible for calling
That's
her.
right, yeah.
So I have to call the police, like not touch her, like she's acting up. So she didn't know that I was the type of person that I'm not gonna take her bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. No, I'm not gonna play this thing.
Right,
no,
right.
sorry, I'm not gonna play. I'm gonna call because I just feel
You have
there's
to
a lot of
protect yourself.
stress in the marriage because
Right.
women have a lot of power when it comes to their being victimized. They've been
right.
known that their
Yeah.
rights are more bigger than the man. If I've been victimized, they're not gonna believe it.
That's
You
right.
know, like I'll call the police. Hey, my wife got
Yeah.
me up.
That's right.
Exactly. How did it do? Did you hit her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even touch her. She got
Yeah.
mad. We had a disagreement.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then she'll act up. I'm like, so I had to divorce her because it really didn't find.
It was an unhealthy
It was
relationship.
Yeah.
the only thing that the son that I raised like 7 years as a
Right.
stepson didn't know his father. He only knew me as the father.
That's right.
That's hard.
It was very difficult, like kind of ripping up my heart.
That's right, man.
And
Yeah, that's
just
what
like
it
knowing
does.
and knowing that. That it's not my kid. We tried to have kids and we had a lot of miscarriage from her many times, but we tried. But I did, but it's not like we want to try to family to work it out,
Right.
So
Yeah.
see, and a lot of people go through, difficult in a relationship,
Yeah.
and the thing that you have to be mature about when is enough, and when it comes to domestic violence or whether it could even youth you go through domestic violence.
Yeah,
too.
they do.
They go to the wrong path. They get mean and they take their anger out of somebody else, and it gets so temper like that. So that's another thing. So that's why I'm glad that you came, because it showed that we need those type of program of people that could lead the children to the right path.
Talk to
Especially when
mentor.
it comes
They don't listen
God.
to their
yeah,
parents. So
yeah.
they remember
You know,
that. They'll listen
and
to
they-
somebody else.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, some people in life.
Hold on.
Kids
Before
are
we
like
go
that.
there, hold that thought.
Okay, good.
Okay. We're getting close to the end. Before I go, you told me you want to go. I'm gonna bring you back. Are you gonna be available tomorrow?
I'm available every day, right?
Well,
but real quick before I end this, right?
All right, go ahead.
We would come to a conclusion and I want to say that me and Sabrina, we would like to come on next time. We want to talk about relationships. We want to talk about people incarcerated for 30,
Yeah.
40, 50 years in prison,
We can
comes
do that.
out. You know what I mean? And we talk about freedom of the woman who's been free, right? And how two relationships come together.
Okay.
And sometimes how they get stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a part of education. So we'd like to, educate the people on that too and share.
Okay, definitely. Definitely we would like to talk about it more because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
There is.
Because your testimony and Sabrina's testimony is very unique.
Yeah, but I want to say something, Doug, too. When I was in there thinking I was going to go do 2 years, I did my paperwork, restraining orders. It does. A lot of women say, oh, restrainers don't help. It did. Because let me tell you, they's like, nope, we're dropping all those charges. But the time, what I'm saying is, being in there, my experience of being incarcerated at the county, it was like, I don't belong here. I'm different. I'm not saying I'm better, but I'm different.
It's like
those circumstances.
It's like what you're saying. When you go into going to the mentality, you think that your problem is where going, having anxiety. When you go to a mental health clinic, and you're seeing this big group, and you see people bipolar, schizophrenic, and all that. Like, man, I don't belong here. I'm not that bad.
Character defects.
It reminds you that, and you say, you better knock this shit off.
That's right.
But
I'm
that
sorry,
experience
that's
too
not
put
good.
in my heart. I want to help women that didn't have nobody. Or I'm not saying it. Like my circumstance, it happened.
Right.
I did it. But with them, it's like.
But you own it.
They were
But you own it.
prostitutes. Some were, they were in and out. I was like, man, these women, they need some love and some direction. So I always grouped up with women that wanted to help other women. And then fortunately, I got to work with kids because God heard my prayers. I got out, and right away, this program came to me, and I was on it.
So what program is that?
It was for early childhood educators, child development, working with families.
Okay, and what your program will be, David? That you're
No,
doing?
that's what I worked for years.
Well, yeah, okay, and what are you going to be working, focused on? Are you going to become a new organization, nonprofit,
Yeah.
called Dave Youth, whatever, or something? I don't know.
You know, incarceration prevention, right? We discovered that word together today, right?
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a title, right? Just to get it started. You know, but I volunteer my services, man.
Right.
That's what it's a part of giving back, like I said
Do
earlier.
you know what your partnership with the other program
Yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, you know what? I really wanted to, before I ended, I wanted to give thanks.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, these people that came into my life since I've been in Stockton has been an asset, right? And they're special,
Amen.
right? First and foremost, I want to give thanks to you and your radio station, right? KXVS. And I also want to give thanks to Gilbert Lopez, who works for Point Break. I went over there to share my experience over there as well with him. And he works with anger management. And
Youth.
Ben Sanchez, of course, right? I've been on the radio show.
Okay.
And I've worked with him, you know, in the past. And what he does, challenge mode, right? He has a whole bunch of titles up on the one.
I'm sure a lot of that.
And Betty Ramirez, you know, I've been on her radio show as well, KXVS. And she's a very special lady too.
Yeah, she
right? Who
loves her
contributes-
community.
Loves the community,
Oh, my
right?
gosh.
Shares events. You know what I
Very
mean?
positive.
Yeah, very.
Yeah,
very
yeah,
positive,
I like
right?
that.
And Gerald Arnett, right?
Okay.
Of course, we know him, right? And of course, my wife Sabrina Flores.
Amen. You don't let her
Right.
out.
And you know, and she's been involved in the community as well, in the Latin and also in the Native American. And so these people that's been in my life, you know, and if I've left anybody out, you know, please forgive me. You know, I'll bring your name up next time on the radio show.
Because we have to give thanks. We know
Yeah, we
people,
do,
you know, like me, I give thanks
because
to.
we're grateful people.
Yeah.
Of
We
course,
are,
I mean,
you know?
you know, that's why, you know, I have no problem with people with being thankful, what
Right.
you
Yeah.
get, and not taking for granted. You know,
Yeah.
'cause I do believe, like, even when I got this position, this job, this title, and everything, I was very fortunate that somebody who believed in me. That could
Well, Doug,
do
you
it.
love to help too.
Yeah, you do.
You know,
Yeah.
you're very helpful
You're an
too.
asset.
I help
Just give me-
too much.
Yeah.
That's why I get.
You know, anybody that can talk and sign language at the same time, multitask, right, is real special. You know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean?
does. So I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I
That's
won't
all right.
talk. I'll do some sign language tomorrow, but nevertheless, it's just. By the way, before we close out, we're gonna have you guys coming in next time, either tomorrow,
Yeah.
next week, or
Okay.
whatever we're available. And I really appreciate your testimony. I really appreciate your. What have you done? What you did for the community in Stockton, which
Right.
is wonderful, and I hope that we'll hear more about you. I think the
Good.
news media and people who want want to help the community as well.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a really positive thing. to do.
You know what, Doug? I was hoping too, you know, because I've always been involved before David came around in the community, always being at events and being involved and, you know, promoting positive things kids are doing here. But, you know, I hear a lot of people used to complain, Stockton this, Stockton that. And I would sit back. But when me and David hooked up, it was like, man, maybe there's other people like us that will see that we're out there that they could do it too, instead of complaining.
Right.
What can we
There's nothing to
do? What can we
complain.
do?
Yeah.
There's no
Well,
saying.
you know,
the
yeah.
company misery love company.
Yeah, like your
Right,
block
exactly,
party.
right?
Yeah.
But the next time I do come on your radio show, right, I do want to talk about certain things that I put together. Certain things like triggers, right? Antisocial codes, pro-social values, right? 4 steps to emotional management. I want to talk about 3 reasons people take responsibility, causative factors, feeling day of the crime that I committed. I want to talk about stress factors, character defects, controlling factors, avoid people with anger issues, coping
Yeah,
skills.
we do very
I
well.
want to talk about stabilizers, destabilizers, problem-solving skills, relapse prevention, and 7 steps of ego.
Okay, well, you know what? We can have our own show going on. Too.
Yeah.
But anyway, before I end the show, we're gonna have a 37th annual powwow coming up. What day?
August 31st,
August 31st.
Oh, my word to camera.
September 1st, and September 2nd.
Okay, and everyone, thank you for watching the Voice of Stockton, 92.1 KXPS, the Vigil show. Thanks for watching, and I'll get you guys coming in next time.
Sure.
We haven't finished it, but we're just starting, because this is the first step of David's journey do I want to kind of move on to the next
re-entry.
step of that? Another show next time, okay, next segment. Okay, thank you. Have a good day and have a great weekend and great week tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.